Hello viewers, welcome to our channel. Let's start the video. Estelle Parsons, born November 20th, 1927, is an American actress. After studying law, Parsons became a singer before deciding to pursue a career in acting. She worked for the television program Today and made her stage debut in 1961. During the 1960s, Parsons established her career on Broadway before progressing to film. She won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress for her role as Blanche Barrow in Bonnie and Clyde, 1967, and was also nominated for her work in Rachel, 1968. Parsons worked extensively in film and theater during the 1970s and later directed several Broadway productions. Later work included perhaps her best-known role as Beverly Harris, mother of the title character, on the sitcom Roseanne, and, later, on its spin-off The Connors. She has been nominated 5 times for the Tony Award, 4 times for lead actress of a play and once for featured actress. In 2004, Parsons was inducted into the American Theatre Hall of Fame. Early life. Parsons was born in Lynn Hospital, Lynn, Massachusetts. Her mother, Eleanor Ingeborg, née Mattsson, was a native of Sweden, and her father, Eben Parsons, was of English descent. She attended Oak Grove School for Girls in Maine. After graduating from Connecticut College in 1949, Parsons initially studied law at Boston University School of Law, and then worked as a singer with a band before settling on an acting career in the early 1950s. In 1983, when co-starring with fellow Academy Award-winning actor Jack Lemmon in a new Ernest Thompson stage play in Los Angeles, Parsons appeared on the November 1st episode of The Tonight Show, telling Johnny Carson that Lemmon had been her first boyfriend when they were both teenagers in the 1940s. Career. Parsons moved to New York City and worked as a writer, producer, and commentator for The Today Show. She made her Broadway debut in 1956 in the ensemble of the Ethel Merman musical Happy Hunting. Her off-Broadway debut was in 1961, and she received a Theatre World Award in 1963 for her performance in Whisper Into My Good Ear / Mrs. Dally Has a Lover, 1962. In 1964, Parsons won an Obie Award for Best Actress for her performance in 2 off-Broadway plays, Next Time I'll Sing to You and In the Summer House. In 1967, she starred with Stacy Keach in the premiere of Joseph Heller's play We Bombed in New Haven at the Yale Repertory Theatre. Parsons has received Tony Award nominations for her work in The 7 Descents of Myrtle, 1968, and Miss Reardon Drinks a Little, 1971, Miss Margarita's Way, 1978, Mornings at 7, 2002, and The Velocity of Autumn, 2014. She played Leocadia Begbic in the American premiere of the Weil, Brecht opera, Rise and Fall of the City of Mahogany, 1970, and performed as Mrs. Peachum to Lotte Leny's Jenny in Threepenny Opera on tour and in New York City. In 1978, she played Lady Macbeth in the Kauai Community Players production. She also played Ruth in Gilbert and Sullivan's The Pirates of Penzance on Broadway in 1981. From June 17, 2008, through May 17, 2009, she played the role of Violet Weston in August, Osage County. She continued playing the role during the show's national tour beginning July 24, 2009, in Denver. In 1979, Parsons directed a production of Antony and Cleopatra at Interart Theatre in New York in which she incorporated some Spanish into the show, prompting Joseph Papp to invite her to direct at the New York Shakespeare Festival, now the Public Theatre, and becoming the first woman to do so. As a director, Parsons has a number of Broadway credits, including a production of Romeo and Juliet, Macbeth, and As You Like It in 1986. Off-Broadway, she directed Dario Fo's Orgasmo Adulto Escapes from the Zoo, 1983. She served as the artistic director of the Actors Studio for 5 years, ending in 2003. In 2016, She starred in Israel Horowitz's new play Out of the Mouths of Babes along with Judith Ivey, directed by Barnett Kellman at the Cherry Lane Theatre in New York City. In 2004, Parsons was inducted into the American Theatre Hall of Fame. Her film career includes an Oscar for Best Supporting Actress for her portrayal of Blanche Barrow in Bonnie and Clyde, 1967, and a nomination for Rachel, 1968. She received a BAFTA Award nomination for her role in Watermelon Man, 1970, and appeared in I Never Sang for My Father, 1970, Two People, 1973, A Memory of Two Mondays, 1974, For Pete's Sake, 1974, Dick Tracy, 1990, and Boys on the Side, 1995. On television, Parsons played the recurring role of Beverly Harris, the mother of the title character on Roseanne. Her Beverly character is the daughter of character Nana Mary, played by fellow Academy Award winner Shelley Winters. Other television credits include appearances in The Patty Duke Show, Love, American Style, All in the Family, Archie Bunker's Place, Open Admissions, Frasier, Law and Order, Special Victims Unit, and The Good Wife, as well as The UFO Incident, The Story of Betty and Barney Hill, and the PBS production of June Moon. She played the part of Babe in 3 episodes of the 2nd and 5th seasons of Grace and Frankie. She was honored with a Woman of Achievement Award from the Women's Project Theatre in 2009. In 2010, she appeared in London, playing psychic Helga ten Dorp in Death Trap at the Noel Coward Theatre in the West End. Parsons' most recent Broadway appearances include Good People, 2011, and Nice Work If You Can Get It, 2012. In April 2018, Parsons returned to television reprising her role as Beverly Harris, mother of Roseanne Barr's title character, in Season 10, Episode 5 of Roseanne. Personal life. Parsons married author Richard Gehman in 1953. They had twin daughters, reporter Abby and actress Martha Gehman, before divorcing in 1958. Her grandson, Abby's son, is former Chicago Bears and Jacksonville Jaguars guard/tackle, Eben Britton, named for his great-grandfather, Estelle's father. In January 1983, she married her partner of 10 years, Peter Zimroth, who has served as Assistant U.S. Attorney, Assistant District Attorney, and Court-appointed monitor of the NYPD's policies and practices regarding stop and frisk. They adopted a son, Abraham, born in February 1983. Zimroth died on November 8, 2021. Birth name, Estelle Margaret Parsons. Occupation, actress. Born in Lynn, Massachusetts, USA. Birth date, November 20, 1927. Age, 96 years old, as of 2024. Ethnicity, white. Nationality, American. Sexuality, straight family. Estelle Parsons's mother's name is Eleanor Ingabor and her father's name is Eben Parsons. We will continue to update information on Estelle Parsons's parents. Net worth: $6 million. Famous works. Credits. Stage appearances. Reporter, Happy Hunting, Majestic Theater, New York City, 1956. Nightcap at the Showplace, also known as Jerry Herman's Nightcap, New York City, 1958. Whoop Up, 1958. Cleo, The Most Happy Fella, North Shore Music Festival, Beverly, Massachusetts, 1958. Demi-Dozen, Upstairs at the Downstairs, New York City, 1959. Pieces of Eight, Upstairs at the Downstairs, 1959. Ollie, Beg, Borrow, or Steal, Martin Beck Theater, New York City, 1960. Mrs. Coaxer, The Threepenny Opera, Theatre de Lis, New York City, 1960. Mrs. Peachum, The Threepenny Opera, Los Angeles and San Francisco, California, both 1960. Nellie Forbush, South Pacific, Chautauqua, New York, 1961. Laska, The Automobile Graveyard, 41st Street Theater, New York City, 1961. Put It in Writing, Royal Poinciana Playhouse, FL, 1962. Lula Roca, Hey You, Light Man, Theater by the Sea, Mantonuck, RI, 1962. Mrs. Dally Has a Lover, Cherry Lane Theater, New York City, 1962. Lizzie, Next Time I'll Sing to You, Phoenix Theater, New York City, 1963. Hortense, Come to the Palace of Sin, Theater de Lis, 1963. Gertrude Eastman Cuevas, In the Summer House, Little Fox Theater, New York City, 1964. Felicia, Ready When You Are, C.B., Brooks Atkinson Theater, New York City, 1964. Major Barbara, Cincinnati Playhouse in the Park, Cincinnati, Ohio, 1965. Summer of the 17th Doll, Cincinnati Playhouse in the Park, 1965. Mrs. Goldman, Suburban Tragedy, one-act play, and Shirley, Princess Rebecca Birnbaum, one-act play, both part of Monopoly, Stage 73 Theater, New York City, 1965. Laureen, Malcolm, Schubert Theater, New York City, 1966. Doris, The East Wind, Vivian Beaumont Theater, Lincoln Center, New York City, 1967. Virginia, Galileo, Vivian Beaumont Theater, Lincoln Center, 1967. Myrtle, The Seven Descents of Myrtle, Barrymore Theater, New York City, 1968. Honor and Offer, Cincinnati Playhouse in the Park, 1968. Janice Krieger, A Way of Life, American National Theater and Academy, New York City, 1969. Peer Gynt, Delacorte Theater, New York City, 1969.